Today, we're finding the strongest plant on Earth, but there's a catch. Every time a plant loses, we'll replace it with a stronger one. We'll start with a tiny Venus flytrap and keep upgrading until we find the strongest plant in nature. Let's begin. Round 1. Venus flytrap versus fly. First up, the Venus flytrap. This plant can detect tiny movements inside its trap. When a fly lands, the trap closes in less than a second. The fly struggles, but escape is impossible. Winner, Venus flytrap. Round 2. Venus flytrap versus mosquito. A mosquito is smaller than a fly. It lands. It triggers the trap. And that's the end of the mosquito. Winner, Venus flytrap. Round 3. Venus flytrap versus ant. Ants are quick, but they still have to touch the trap. The Venus flytrap closes. The ant is trapped. Winner, Venus flytrap. Round 4. Venus flytrap versus spider. Spiders are predators, but even predators can become prey. The spider steps inside. The hunter becomes the hunted. Winner, Venus flytrap. Round 5. Venus flytrap versus beetle. Beetles have armor. Could that save them? Nope. The trap closes around the beetle. The Venus flytrap wins again. Round 6. Venus flytrap versus praying mantis. But now, things get serious. A praying mantis is much bigger. It walks into the trap. The trap closes, but the mantis is too strong. It forces itself free. The Venus flytrap has finally lost. Winner, praying mantis. Time for an upgrade. This is a pitcher plant. Instead of snapping shut, it fills a deep pit with digestive liquid. Anything that falls inside may never get out. Pitcher plant versus fly. The fly lands on the slippery edge. It slips. It falls. Game over. Winner, pitcher plant. Pitcher plant versus spider. The spider tries to climb, but the walls are too slippery. Down it goes. Winner, pitcher plant. Pitcher plant versus frog. Some pitcher plants are large enough to trap frogs. The frog jumps, it slips, and ends up in the digestive pool. Winner, pitcher plant. Pitcher plant versus mouse. Now we're talking mammals. A mouse explores the plant. One mistake, and it falls in. Winner, pitcher plant. Pitcher plant versus cat. But a cat? The cat notices the plant. The cat weighs far too much. One swipe, the plant is damaged. The pitcher plant loses. Winner, cat. We need a stronger plant. This is one of the largest carnivorous plants on Earth. It can hold liters of liquid and trap surprisingly large prey. Giant pitcher plant versus rat. The rat slips. It falls in. The giant plant wins. Giant pitcher plant versus bird. The bird lands. One bad step, and down it goes. Winner, giant pitcher plant. Giant pitcher plant versus lizard. The lizard tries to escape, but the walls are too slick. Winner, giant pitcher plant. Giant pitcher plant versus monkey. Now we're facing a monkey, much larger, much smarter. The monkey simply avoids the trap and tears the plant apart. The giant pitcher plant loses. Winner, monkey. Time for our final upgrade. This plant doesn't eat animals. It fights with poison. Touching it can cause extreme pain. Poison plant versus mouse. The mouse touches the plant. Bad idea. Winner, poison plant. Poison plant versus dog. The dog brushes against it. Instant regret. Winner, poison plant. Poison plant versus human. A human touches the plant. Pain level, enormous. Winner, poison plant. Poison plant versus elephant. But now, an elephant. 6,000 kilograms. It doesn't care about traps. It doesn't care about poison. It doesn't care about warnings. Stomp. The plant is crushed instantly. Winner, elephant. Ending. So, what is the strongest plant? Surprisingly, none of them, because plants were never built to fight. They survive, they spread, they outlive. Some trees live for thousands of years, and long after many animals disappear, the plants are still here. Maybe the strongest plant isn't the one that wins battles. Maybe it's the one that's still standing. Subscribe if you want more nature battles. Actually, while making this video, I came up with a lot of other battle ideas, and now I can't stop thinking about them. For example, what if we did the strongest bug in nature? We could start with a tiny ant, then upgrade to a spider, then a scorpion, then a giant beetle, and keep going until we find the ultimate bug. Or maybe we could do bacteria instead. Imagine starting with a small bacteria, then a bigger one, then a huge one, and eventually something enormous like an elephant. Who would become the final champion? Actually, I have another idea. What if the winner gets upgraded every round? So instead of plants upgrading, the animal upgrades, and every battle becomes more ridiculous than the last. And here's another question. Do you think the elephant really won? Sure, it defeated the poison plant. But could it defeat a giant tree? Maybe. Maybe not. Trees can be a lot bigger than people realize. And speaking of giant trees, some trees can live for thousands of years. Think about that. While empires rise and fall, some trees are just standing there, growing, surviving, waiting. That's kind of crazy. So maybe the strongest plant isn't the deadliest. Maybe it's the one that survives the longest, the one that adapts, the one that keeps growing, even when everything around it changes. Anyway, that's enough deep thinking for one video. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if this video gets enough support, I'll make another one. Maybe plants versus dinosaurs. Maybe bugs versus bugs. I honestly have way too many ideas, so tell me which one you want to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.